into this whole concept of virgin birth and parthenogenesis, and a lot of feminists talk this stuff like you don't need a man to really have a baby. You really don't need men. It was a time when women just gave birth, virgin births, right? And I say, NAAZirRa never talked about that. Why you never talk about this? Because I talk about things at the appointed time. Okay? Not at a good time. Not
Those are
just
the
question. It's for the appointed time. All things must be revealed at a certain time.
Work with a purpose.
It's all about time. Time is the most precious commodity.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you look at it that way and you actually are manifesting the best for yourself. I'm very happy with that.
Okay.
Goals are set as manifestations.
How's everybody doing? I need more people in the building. Go ahead and like the video. Thumb up the video. Please hit the subscribe and notification bell.
All right, let me skip a little further.
Because they destroyed their protective layer. Okay? Every planet is like an egg. And all eggs have a membrane. It's a protective layer. Okay?
You got the nucleus, the
so
membrane.
Our protective layer in this particular egg called Earth.
I saw 71.
It's a birthing ground. But when the egg begins to hatch, you begin to get to a certain level of development.
You welcome.
You start to discard older things. In this case, we're discarding the older world by destroying it. That's part of the essential process. You gotta destroy your planet. You ain't never heard that before.
Of course.
See? Build or destroy. If you're gonna build something new, you gotta destroy the old form.
Facts.
That's what we're doing. So it's really not evil, it's really not bad. We're getting to the level now, the fifth density level, where it's really not a devil or anything like that. It's all about growth, transformations, and the crisis, the challenges, and the stresses, right, associated with advanced change. Thanks for the 5.
High five.
Madly classy. You need to come out to the event. I'd like to meet you. Madly classy.
Or $5.
So we're destroying the old.
What you doing though? What
so
you
we
up to?
can bring forth the new. Ain't nobody destroying it but us. It's not a good thing. It's not a bad thing. It's an event. Okay. So they needed to protect their planet. They're trying to hold on by suspending this gold dust in the atmosphere, which has never ever been done before. There's a lot of things happening on Tiamat, which also becomes Earth, right? Terra, and then it becomes Earth or Arctut, the blue rock. There's a lot of things happening on this planet that's never been done before. This is why
this
so many
NAAZirRa.
entities are watching. See, this is why the other reason why you're getting the tone in your ear is not always those particular entities that are parasites. Sometimes it's the proximity of these other particular extraterrestrials and their technologies. So the buzzing in your ear is the proximity. They in the room with you. They watching. You see, they're here. They all over here walking around and everything, but they're on a slightly higher octave where it's legal.
My day off studying my chart.
Be here.
Okay. Studying your natal chart.
Sometimes kids come here too. The same way we have anything like that I say close to Alexis. Hey Alexis, this thing turns on when I answer questions. Anyway, just like you have field trips here on Earth. You're gonna take. When I was a teacher, I take kids to different places and things of this nature.
Yep.
And you want them to observe. So they come here and they
but
do
you finding out something new.
Working on certain degrees and things of this nature. They come here and observe humans the same way we go to the zoo. That's why I told you this planet is like a zoo. It's like a zoo. It's not a zoo, but it's like a zoo where entities come and observe lower life forms. So we're going to go into that. We're going to go into, this whole idea of virgin birth, the rise of the divine feminine, the rise of feminine energy, period. All forms of feminine energy. It's not all divine.
Part of Neptune and Jupiter
Some of it's
and
wild
my
and
moon
chaotic.
Neptune trine.
Got that under the sun too, right?
Me.
You have the righteousness. You have all these different aspects: the power, the leadership, the ambition, the innovation.
Okay.
It's coming now. And
Yeah.
it's shifting.
Always.
It can't be denied. It's not a conspiracy.
Gotta learn every day.
It's not feminism either. It's nature. Everything goes in cycles. So, I talked about, and by the way, if you're new, my name is NAAZirRa, author of The Hidden Self, The Hidden Power, and the Access Codes Design, and Fourth Density, How to Ascend Through Thought. And I really appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel and help us reach our 100,000 goal before 2020.
100,000.
Also hit the notification bell because oftentimes,
bro, I've been with this since it was like,
and they may be up for a few hours or a few days, but then they'll get archived to the members area, depending on how sensitive the information is. Okay, so you definitely want to catch.
Yeah, but how was your day? How was your day? How's everybody going?
Now, new souls, and before that, I talked about in my last video. I talked about the unmoved movement. That was a video I did maybe a year or two ago. Addressing that whole idea. People asking, NAAZirRa, you believe in God? You believe in a higher power? It ain't about no belief. I told you we don't deal with belief. We deal with facts. Right knowledge and sound reason.
Divine, sacred, right knowledge.
And watch that video if you haven't, and you'll see that there's no way that there can't be an indwelling intelligence or unmoved mover. 4 years
it's impossible. I'm still sitting.
It's illogical.
So have you tried to study the
mystery of where all these souls coming from?
I don't know how I can say this right. Because, you have the zodiacs that deal with being on Earth, which is the 13 zodiacs. But when you go beyond this universe and this dimension, you still have way more zodiacs than that. Like, you could call them galactic, or, galactic zodiacs, or cosmic.
So, they're cloning individuals to do the work, if you know the whole story. And by the way, just to speed you up just a little bit if you're new. The Sumerian tablets are the oldest records of human history on the planet. Older than
I'm going to have to put my...
Hold on. They were inscribed on clay tablets, right? Gilgamesh epics or Numa and Lish. And it talks about these particular gods that came from up high down to earth. That's what Anu means. Anunnaki means. Anu means from up high, Anu, Naki, to earth, which was the name for earth at that time was Ki, which means destiny. And they came down and they taught humanity everything about agriculture, everything about, architecture and law and order, and gave humanity civilization. It all comes from the Nunit.
Now, hopefully it stay up there and it don't fall.
Because they were already living here. They were already down here mining the gold. And they were down here mining gold. They were mining gold for 150,000 years. Imagine that. Y'all can think about work. They mining for 150,000 years. Granted, their lifespan is 36,000 years, but still. It's a long time. My point is this. They got tired of working. They rebelled and ran off and started just living on the planet when they supposed to be here.
All right, let me pause this real quick. So the name of this video, or the topic, is called Virgin Births, the Great Mothers Who Birthed Syrian Nephilim Hybrids.
Formed a mutiny. And they couldn't get people to mine the gold. So they decided that, you know what? These Lulu Amanu, it was two evolving species on the planet at the time. You had conscious life being evolved in the sea, which were dolphins, right? And those different mammals that come up for air, certain whales and things of this nature. And they had a humanoid aspect of that, but then they had the Homo erectus, for lack of a better word. It may not have been exactly Homo erectus, but it was one of those proto-humans that walked upright.
Like a dog.
Pretty much almost upright. And they had the potential, right, to help Tiamat, or should I say Earth, maintain its destiny.
Tiamat.
Now, so they did the experiments, and they had to have pretty much artificial insemination into these particular birthing goddesses, they call them. But the question remains is, where the souls come from? You're doing something unnatural like that, it's not going to have a soul. And the lifespan could be it's not going to produce viable embryos.
I say that all the time.
With the embryos.
I say that all the time. I'm like, people be having children with no knowledge of where the soul of the child actually comes from. They don't acknowledge the soul because they don't acknowledge their own soul. But I be saying that all the time. Don't mind me. It's just the smoke. Okay.
This is why when you read it, why did it take them so damn long? You see? These are the things we go into. Why does it take them so long? They're supposed to be master geneticists. Why couldn't they, boom, just do it? Remember I told you at the beginning of this video that it's all about timing, right? If you know anything about when, you and your mate are trying to have a child, it's a certain window of time that's opportune to ensure, conception.
Right.
Well, it's the same thing spiritually, and it's the same thing with these particular genetics. And
that's why you got a natal chart.
Genetic engineering. These are the things that our scientists are soon to discover. Okay, timing is everything. Now, at the time, and just to let you know, this planet is under the guardianship of the Sirius. This is why all throughout Kemet, all the pyramids point to Sirius, all references to Sirius. So you forget about Palladians, all that. This is a Sirian planet. These are the ones who were here first, okay? Descendants of the Vegans from the Vega star system. So they had guardianship. And there's a specific planet that is the third planet out from the dwarf star known as Sirius B. And that planet has a geranium core.
You see that?
Core, okay? Research the periodic chart, you'll find that has
flower of
atomic
life,
weight of 32,
seed of life,
as opposed to
tree
1,
of life,
which is hydrogen, or atomic weight of 2, which is helium. We'll come back to that. These particular stars generate light and information to the planet that direct the planet on what type of species and certain things about how the species is going to develop and how it manifests. Many ways, the light codes coming from Ra or the sun are DNA. It's light code DNA. Real DNA is light. Did you know that?
Thanks.
Real DNA is light. So what happens is, being that they are from a star, which is a dwarf star, which is a very old star, just letting you know how advanced they are. Their star done collapsed into what they call a dwarf star with a tremendous mass, atomic mass, and tremendous density. This is what we talk about, higher densities. Okay, you can't live on this planet. You can't live on some of these planets, or even on these stars. Those people don't know that either. This being the star, this particular sun is actually a planet. There's beings that live on the sun.
This matches my dream from the other
beings
night.
That live on all of these everywhere. Everywhere there's life. My point is this.
Okay. What type of dream was that?
32. Okay, with 16 males, 16 females. They come together and they marry. That's how they do it on that planet. 16 males, 16 females, they come together and that's one family. Okay? Based on the law of correspondence, okay, of the core of that planet being geranium. Atomic number 32. Okay?
Fuck.
Atomic weight, I think, is about 76. So they came here, and it was their destiny to come here to this particular planet. This particular family came here. One family. Fourth density entities. Fourth and fifth density entities, as opposed to Nephilim or Anunnaki, who are third density. This is why they're able to interact. This is why they're able to, splice in genes, and you can see the Nephilim. We have all types of statues. You wonder why those statues are so huge in Kemet? Why are the doorways so high in those temples? Okay? All throughout Kemet, you look at those temples. Luxor, right? All of them. Huge huge temples, huge doorways, bodies so tall.
I wish I had another type of, because I wouldn't mind showing this, but this video is like an hour long. I'm only trying to show about
anywhere upwards to 18, 19 feet tall for the males.
25 minutes. 25 minutes is half.
16 feet tall, 7 feet tall.
But
it has to do with the level of consciousness. The higher you gain in consciousness, you gain in stature. Okay, this is why I say Allahu Akbar. Allah is the greatest. They think it's just great, like he's so powerful, yes, but it means also stature and height. That's why they say the king, your highness. High, you tall, you high. Anyway.
He drinking that purple drink that looked like melanin.
So, this particular geranium, actually, when they talk about silicon-based star system,
gold.
Real carbon-based. These beings are silicon-based, which is associated with geranium. You look at the periodic chart, they're associated. They're in the same group. Okay? So again, just to recap, how we reproduce or how we come together and mate, right? The number of males and females that come together and mate corresponds to the atomic weight of the star. We have a helium-based star that goes through the process of nuclear fusion, right? That creates the brilliance and the light that we think we get from the sun. And it's really coming from the earth, but appears to come from the sun. And that particular energy was really coming from the sun that initiates Earth's power and light and heat. That is how we reproduce. So you have atomic number of 2, right? 1 proton and 1 neutron in the helium atom. Therefore, you have 1 female and 1 male that creates that particular bond. You see? Law of correspondence. All this stuff ties into science as well as Hermetic law. If it's a hydrogen, like we have a hydrogen is 1 female to 1 male, helium 2 females to 2 males. So when I started to talk about how there could be more than just 2 genders, now it's starting to make sense. Follow me, it's starting to make sense. The insectoids, and it's just a vast variety of how things come together, how individuals come together. Now, parthenogenesis.
All right, so hold on. I know of him well. Yep, I've been knowing about it for years, like years. I just never really, on my other page before this page, I always had like stuff like this, and I always had, you know what I'm saying, live videos, way more than just playing music and stuff. I was being shown what he's talking about, Long Dream, so he's confirming it in short. Cool, that's what's up. Cool to be hearing this. Thanks, no problem. Yeah, see, the video is 50 minutes long, but I was only going to show 25 minutes, so it's actually 5 minutes left. I didn't actually plan on holding the phone up to the camera for everybody to see it, but I'm just like, shit, fuck it.
Goddesses giving birth without any sperm. Okay?
That pyrite
Virgin
crystal.
Births. Mary, right? According to the story. But throughout history, there's many virgin births. In fact, virgin births, you can Google it yourself. It happens today. It's a phenomenon no one could explain. It typically doesn't produce viable embryos, though. Okay? So it's not like they cloning themselves like that. However, parthenogenesis, when it happened based on 4th dimensional mating. 4th dimensional mating. As opposed to 3rd dimensional mating. So what happens is, you have the Greys that do this as well. The Greys, we exalting this thing like it's something cool not to have men and just to have the female only insectoid type of society, which is what it will be, because insects do that. The problem is when you do it in terms of when you're in a degenerative state or ego-based or service to self state, okay, you turn out like the Greys. Those little, they call them Zeta reticulans. Some of them are from there. Those big-headed, bald-headed little aliens that gotta snatch people up to get their DNA. They reproduce through cloning. This is why women have these particular, man, I was pregnant, now I'm not pregnant. I'm pregnant, I'm not pregnant.
Damn.
People bragging about getting, taken up on ships by the Greys. It ain't nothing to brag about. Those are degenerative entities.
Yeah, it's really not nothing to brag
You're
about.
looking at the personification of death, of hell, pretty much. So, when you have that cloning aspect, these particular offspring don't have a soul, very short lifespan, and they are sterile. They can't reproduce. They're drones, and they're all female. They did certain autopsies of the Greys. They don't have any genitalia like that. They're not necessarily female, not necessarily male. They're drone.
33.
Okay, drones. Now, let's look at my notes. Okay, so the Nephilim, they wanted to create this new race.
All right, so it's 2 more minutes.
It's hard to get a chimpanzee to mine gold.
Ain't no telling.
Acting a fool, running all over the goddamn place. He don't know how to follow instructions. And then you don't want somebody that's so smart to say, you know what, I'm not doing that for you. And why am I doing that for you? What am I getting out of it? That type of thing. So you have to have the correct balance of ignorance and intelligence to make a good slave. Make sense? So they decided that they were going to clone these particular individuals and mix the genetics of the native primate on the planet with these particular birth goddesses. Give thanks. Kani, that's nice. Kani Awa. Give thanks for the 3.
Ashe.
But the problem was they kept dying. There was a lot of problems with this particular these experiments. This is why they said it took them a long time. Went through different versions. Certain versions they were too smart and they would run off and rebel. Other ones they were too slow or not intelligent enough to understand language and directions. They were not useful as well. So it came to pass that Sirius B, there was a family that was on their way to Key.
All right,
they were on their way to Earth. And this is the exact time that they were doing these particular experiments. So these experiments created a doorway or an energetic portal for there to be success with these genetic experiments.
Pass it to the left side.
New race. What Tahuti told me is this. I don't care who or what. If there's a mother, there's always a father, right? There's always a father. You may not see it. You may not know it. Or you may not know where they're from or what form. But if there's viable offspring, there was always a male and a female. Okay? There was a male aspect that initiated that particular birth in that conception. You see, when you look at science, you can see the whole story unfolds. You go under a microscope and they show those sperms swimming. And the egg is huge. The egg is one of the biggest cells in the human body. And the sperm is one of the smallest cells in the human body. And when you watch that video, you see those sperm, they're traveling. They look like little rocket ships.
Beams of light.
On a planet.
Like little beams of light, like little stars.
And that's exactly what happens. The divine masculine energy comes and initiates that particular planet. It terraforms that planet. The same way the sperm initiates and terraforms and creates life, viable life that begins to grow and flourish inside of the womb. Like I said, the earth is an egg. And it was fertilized. So what happened was fertilized more than one time. But what happened was this.
No, hold on, wait.
They were fourth dimensional.
All right, so let me pause right there. He's definitely right. That's why there's 19 different versions of Earth. So just like the number 19 and the number 11 and stuff like that have always been so special and spiritual. That's the reason why. That's why we call them. That's why Earth is really called Terra And if you take the letter Earth, if you take Earth and switch the letters, you get heart. That's why our heart vibrates at the same frequency of Earth, which makes us, able to be on this planet and in this density, this third dimensional density. So, okay, definitely though. But the number 19, that's a very powerful number too. The Alpha and the Omega.
But
just
the,
like
the Anunnaki, or should I say the Nephilim, the same people. Anunnaki, Nephilim, the giants, they were third dimension. So they had to go to the halls of Amenti, okay, in the core of the earth. The earth is a living being, and it also has a womb. And this is where they conceived the new species. This is why some of the Anunnaki, like, man, I don't know if we should be doing this. We should not be cloning. Some of them could see that this could be a big mistake. Because this thing happened before on other star systems and other dimensions. And they could see that. They say, y'all going down that same path as those entities about 500 million years ago in this star system or in this dimension. And they can feel it. This is why they said in the Quran, when the creation of man, it said, are you going to make a mischief maker in the earth? And Allah said, I know what you know not.
Okay, number Lilo 33.
When they was going to create man, the angels were like, man, I don't know if we should create. Is it going to be another troublemaker? A mischief maker? But it was all for a divine plan. It's all about evolution. Interdimensionally, intergalactically, planetarily, personally, right? All about growth and evolution. So what happened was this. These particular newly formed entities, right? They had fourth dimensional genetics from Sirius B, right? Fourth dimensional genetics. They had the genetics of the Nephilim. Okay. And they had the genetics of
I gotta get my breath.
On Earth, the native indigenous primates that were developing on Earth. This is what made them so powerful. This is one of the reasons why all eyes are on Earth. Because that blend has never been done before. So what happens is you get the benefits of all four natures. Your spiritual nature comes from your heavenly fathers, those from Sirius B. Okay? Your intelligence and your emotional intelligence and your intuition, all of that comes from the Nephilim, right? Or the Naga.
The Tahuti, the Naga.
And then you have your
Mani.
primate nature. This is where you get your lust, your passion. This is where you get your resilience, your strong nature to survive.
The wolves.
The ability to be flexible and be grounded to the earth. So you put all that together, it makes a very powerful being. The angels were terrified. This is where you get what you call it, the archons. They're scared of you. That's it. That's what it really is. It's not about evil. It's not about hate. It's not about trying to get back at you. They are scared of you because of your power and your, most importantly, your potential.
Your purpose, potential, and possibility. Elohim.
Define wake up, NAAZirRa. I am awake. I'm watching you. What do you mean wake up? Well, wake up is a code word. I put a lot of code words in my videos. Wake up means to initiate and to arouse and to awaken something, to activate and to initiate something. Well, what is being activated, aroused, and awakened, NAAZirRa?
Facts.
Well, science tells us that we have close to 90% of our DNA is not even switched on.
Junk DNA.
It's just sitting there. They don't know what it's for. It's called junk DNA. Don't believe me. Check it out for yourself. Junk DNA.
24
chromosomes. This junk
chromosome.
DNA is there for a reason. It's like you are in this amazing, I'm talking about amazing spaceship that has all these capabilities. You ever watch Star Trek? Star Trek has something called a holodeck. And you go into that room and it'll replicate anything you want. It has warp drive.
Imagination.
Well, you are even more powerful than the most advanced spaceship. Not only can you create realities, you can warp time, back and forth in time. different versions of stuff. You all over the place.
Memories.
Junk
Manifestations.
DNA don't gotta be switched on, but it's switched on through light codes, through information. The words that I'm speaking to you is not just information, it's light. I'm shining light on you right now, turning on certain aspects of you. So now when you finally know, okay, now this is where they get all those extra souls. In the book, The Hidden Self, I told you, certain entities are so powerful, they cannot incarnate in one body.
Facts.
You see? That energy got to be broken up because it's too much for one body.
Facts.
You can't put, let me just use a wild number, a 75-foot entity, or it's just talking about its power and its mass. You can't put that into a little small earth ant. It just won't fit. So this creates a whole planet or a whole entity,
like a
group
wave
of individuals that manifest that particular energy of that entity.
Like legion, we are many.
That's why Jesus said, I'm not sent to none but the lost sheep of the house of Israel. He was talking to a certain group of Christs. This is why it's written, of these things I do, ye are going to do greater things, because we are the same. He wasn't saying that to everybody in the world. There was other people he said, ye are like your father, who is a devil and a liar and a deceiver since the beginning. Right? When he was amongst his family, he said, our Father who art in heaven. That means we're all brothers. They tried to bow down and worship him. He said, get up, for I'm a fellow servant. But why are Christians still worshiping him? He said, get up, I'm a fellow servant. You see? He said, I of myself can do nothing. Only thing I do is what the Father wills. That's it. See? Now you got billboards down here saying, why did Jesus create humanity? They going way off. They so in the dark, they ain't even worshiping God no more.
Yep, that is facts.
So my point is this, people. These souls that we have are from our heavenly Father, the heavenly ones. That was the masculine energy that came. Masculine energy came to the planet, fertilized it, and now you have this particular immaculate birth. So these women didn't have to have sexual intercourse.
That's why they don't have sex.
They didn't have to have sexual intercourse because it happened in the holes of a menti, in the womb of the earth, the ovum of the earth, which is an actual place.
The second sun.
But it's fourth dimensional, even though it's on earth, but it's fourth dimension. Okay? All right, so that's it for now. I'll entertain maybe 2 or 3 questions. How's everybody?
Damn. Bro, it still got 20 minutes left. I don't even know if I still got 20 minutes on here. Shit. Hey, this been a good ass video for real. But really, like, everything that he talking about is pretty much everything that I be talking about. It's just to a wider audience. And it's deeper too, especially for what he just said. Because it's just like right now, you have a lot of women who are celibate, or a lot of women who choose not to have sexual, relationships, and they're kind of like a psychosexual. They're aroused by the mind or mentally stimulated. Then you have men. You have a lot of men who still be running around like women because they are like the whores in a way. They have that type of energy. So instead of actually being the divine masculine, planting the seed, in the dirt and shit like that, it doesn't necessarily correspond with what they are really supposed to be doing. He got me on one. Facts. Yep. That's what's up. Okay, 34. It's still more. I'm gonna just keep going. Y'all, you see how
Let's
long?
Let's get some questions on topic. I really don't want to go off into la la land tonight. I want to stay on topic so we can build and add on. Well, as far as the marijuana, I don't endorse that. It's illegal in certain jurisdictions. But you
I'm gonna ask him about
you don't need marijuana.
Marijuana.
Not like that. Okay.
Well, that had nothing to do with this damn subject.
With the light. You are already connected It's just that we're constantly distracted from the light. See, in order to stay connected to the light, you have to be in an environment conducive to the light. Environment meaning those people that you talk to, you associate with, that the people that you're around on a daily basis. This goes for men and women, okay? You have to be around your air lights. You have to be around those people that's on the frequency. That's how you stay in the light. This is why all the scriptures teach it. This is why, even in chemistry, in order to raise the purity of something, if you want to, raise, for example, if you want to raise the purity of a certain metal, it has to go through what we call a purification process, which is the fire. Okay, the fire is raising the frequency. Okay, so if you want to stay pure or stay in the light, you have to stay in a high frequency so you can stay in that golden state. Okay, does that make sense? I know I was a little bit of stress with the alchemy. That's what came to me, but it's true. It's true. You have to stay in the company of the righteous. If it's just you and your mate and you out somewhere nobody's conscious, y'all need to really form a strong bond. Right? Spend your time. And then you begin to shine, and now you start to attract other people to you.
Facts.
But you have to be on the frequency. You shouldn't be bumping gums with people talking, with people that's unconscious. Spending a lot of time with people that's dead. Jesus said, let the dead bury the dead. I go where there's life. You got to go where there's life and a higher life. To not reincarnate, we must activate our Merkaba. Good question.
Merkaba.
Well, to incarnate simply means to lower your frequency and crystallize or solidify in a certain environment. Right? Now, you don't want to say, I don't ever want to reincarnate or to incarnate, because there's different experiences and places that you may want to go. Give thanks, NAAZirRa, for the love, for 20. I appreciate that. So to activate your Merkaba gives you the ability to take control of your incarnations.
Yep, all of them.
And take control of where you crystallize and where you materialize and dematerialize based on what you want to do as a divine entity. How can I find out what DNA I have and where I come from? Well, I can tell you right now, being that you're attracted to this information and you're attracted to the delivery. Some people are turned off just with the delivery. Some people are like, I don't like him. He look like a pimp. Dress like a pimp. I was so ignorant.
I don't like it when you look like a pimp.
Some people just turn off. But I'm going to tell you, if you are on this frequency and you tuned into NAAZirRa University and you're not turned off and you love it, you can't get enough, you most likely have genes from Sirius B, third planet out. Third planet out. Sirius B,
I'm still cracking up.
Star. Silicon based. Like some people say, you just like your father. You say, absolutely. Thank you for the compliment. Okay? So that's one way. If you're very much into music and sound and tones and rhythm, that's a lot of Venusian traits, right? Venus. If you're very logical, excellent memory, sharp, great listener, right? Great listener.
Okay, I gotta do some work. Definitely. Thank you. Appreciate it. Ashe, namaste.
This is where they get the whole character of the Vulcans, right? In Star Trek. They did a play on Sortetians. Have a little tiny spot here. You look at some people's ear has a little point at the end. That's that genetics cropping up from Sortetian. Okay? What else? Like the fight? Mars, pretty much.
What they say? Hold on, wait.
Individuals don't need to be running amok.
But when he said Mars, that made me think about that old children's song we used to sing. Like, hold on, wait. Boys are from Jupiter, girls. I think they said boys are from Mars. Like, Like girls are from Jupiter because something is more stupider. Boys are from Mars because something, or girls are from Mars. I forgot, but it's like a little childhood song we used to actually sing. I forgot the way to actually
think
take
that there
it.
should be order and standards. That's Mars. Mars. See, a lot of the old school men back in the, coming from the 70s and back, I say really back in the 50s, had a lot of Martian energy.
The number
That's why
5.
we had a lot of wars during
Number
that time.
23.
A lot of wars. You look at these older guys and things of this nature, always got some medals from some damn war, Korean War, World War I, World War II, all that stuff. That's Mars energy. Okay. Very artsy and, kind of lightheaded, spiritual. Like, I'm not saying in a bad way, but very spiritual. Like, some people, everything come out their mouth is spiritual. It's like, damn.
Like, damn.
You call them, hey, you doing? Praise God. Right? That's a lot of Vega genetics characteristics. Very spiritual. They got to be grounded sometimes because we're not in a place to be space cadets down here. And the way we are too. Else you wouldn't be here. Right? So it's a lot more to that. One last question. NAAZirRa, thank you so much once again for the love, brother. The reason I ask is because I have all those features you
Thank you.
mentioned. Absolutely. And that's a perfect, observation, Brother Ra. Because we are amalgamation of all these different entities. And those are just, the ones I mentioned are just the so-called benevolent. We also have malevolent, what would be considered malevolent to some races, quote-unquote evil. We also have grays and all these genetics. Total about 22 or 23 species.
Facts.
Powers that be know all this. So go to the grocery store and look at the ketchup. There's only a few different things with the ketchup, but for some reason it says 22 varieties. Fact check me on that. I think it's Heinz. 22 varieties. 22 or 23. Well, that's a play on the knowledge for those in the know, because the ketchup is red. It represents the blood.
Mars. Right? Number 23
and
equals 5.
The 23 varieties deal with the 23 species that's spliced in.
23rd chromosome.
Okay.
Jump
DNA. A lot more to this. And by the way, I just want to say this too. It seems like a lot of you really want the depth, and I would encourage you to seek out Cosmic Ascension to Fourth Density. It's a home study course now, and it's about 8 hours of information on this particular subject in more great detail and depth. And it's also 20% off. Okay, so all of our home studies, everything's 20% off. I didn't want to mention it, but I think that some people may want to save some money. I don't want to, belabor it, but check that out.
Shame.
Yeah, so I always wondered that as a child. I said, why do they keep saying 23 varieties? There's only one ketchup, especially back in the, 80s and stuff. Ain't a bunch of flavors and everything. It's just ketchup. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Ketchup and mustard.
Right.
But it was, on the label it says 23 varieties. I'm still looking for the other flavors. Okay?
Damn.
None of us found Giordano by coincidence. It is all part of the prophecy.
All right, so I got 8 minutes.
Absolutely. And not just my channel, but there's other people teaching as well. Okay? There's other people that teach as well. And it's all about what your spirit kind of gravitates to. Some people have more of a different delivery, and some people got to hear it that way. They was raised around cursing and vulgar energy. So when they hear that, it makes them feel comfortable. It makes them feel at home. So there's somebody out there for that too. Other people everything is warm and fluffy and picket fences and teddy bears.
Teddy bears.
They're familiar with that, familiar family. So they gravitate towards that. And no shots at anybody. Everybody's doing their thing. But part of my energy is to speak the truth, facts. Okay, things could be warm and fuzzy for a little while. but tribulation visits all of our doors. Right? Yeah. Tribulation in the form of going through these particular schools. Now,
YouTube NAAZirRa at the end of at the bottom of the screen.
This may sound all spiritual and all good, but when you're in that alligator pit, that shit is real in life. Right? All of that spiritual stuff, 9 times out of 10, go out the window. You go right back to survival mode, where you should be. Okay, there's a time to be spiritual. And if you're not all the way there yet, and your heart is beating, and you feel that fear and that adrenaline going through your body, you ain't there yet. You better get back into that root chakra and get back where you need to be so you can live and not die, right? And so now you go back to training, right? And you go back into your meditations. You go back and reaffirm yourself and become firm in the spirit and firm in the truth. So the next time you're in that alligator, you're in there with those alligators in that alligator pit, some of y'all know what I'm talking about. Now you already know it's a dream. Nothing can harm me. Nothing can harm me. You turn that macabre on, that light shines so bright, all that foolishness just disappears. You look around you, ain't nothing but rags. Ain't nothing but rags and some furniture. Like, damn, I thought those were alligators. Some of you had dreams like that. And that's what fear is. It's an illusion.
Yep.
It's an illusion. Okay? I'm on another plane when I'm listening to Master teach. I can't hear nothing else. Okay. One day I hope to be considered a master. That is my particular goal. You know, I had a rough week. You know, the attacks are real. But I know that's just me pushing up against those barbells. And it's becoming almost like relentless to the point where I'm being pushed. I'm being pushed to let go, pretty much. You know, in spirit, in religion, they say, let go and let Jesus. That's powerful. Let go and let God. But you don't understand how powerful it is, that statement, let go. See, we hold on to life like we're holding on to a rope. Holding on to life, holding on to security, holding on to whatever, holding, attachment. You see, it's like a cliff.
Hold on to something you cannot get them blessings.
But how many people out there could let go of a rope while they're hanging off a cliff if the Most High told you to? Most High told you let go. You all right. Would you do it? Would you let go and fall off that cliff? So it's difficult. Sometimes you got to go back to training. And this is sometimes why we come back and reincarnate. And there's nothing wrong with that. Hidden Power University is about people that's ready to graduate. You really, really are done. You feel like, you know what, this is it. There's nothing here. And I mean, there's nothing here. It's desolate. NAAZirRa, what is your thoughts on Feral Society? The Nazi Germans spoke to a lady named a medium psychical contact on blue-eyed blonde-haired aliens with white skin. Who were they? I heard about that too. I believe those were Palladians. I believe those were Palladians or the Lyrans. Okay. I need to go to your class. All right. Well, shalom, I do, everybody. I hope that.
Bro, I just realized that I was holding this phone for about 50 fucking minutes, bro. Like, my arms are fucking. Okay. Okay, so. But I've been on here for 54 minutes, and I definitely appreciate everyone that's been on here. If there's anything you want to say, definitely say it or ask or anything like that, because I only have about 3 minutes left to actually be on here. And I definitely enjoyed that video. I'm glad I actually played it. If he ain't talking about me, OMG, I just got my answer again. Hey, see, we got a lot of answers, you know what I'm saying? We got the holy key that can open up every single door, you know, all you need is access. Sometimes your access just come through different people, you know? So, that's where I'm like, normally when I do get on live, I be having videos playing and I be listening to different people instead of just, you know, me doing my thing, smoking all the fucking time, you know? But, yeah, I definitely appreciate it. I'm actually about to charge my phone and take a shower because I've been doing this for a minute and it just said 5:55 and I'm out of here. Thank you, appreciate it. Thank you everyone that's been on here. I give thanks. Ashe, namaste. Wait, hold up. Wait, I saw that. Very informative. Thank you for sharing. Exactly. Okay, no problem. I definitely appreciate it too. I'm glad you guys learned something. We all learned something. You know, you gotta learn every day.